Hello and welcome. Dear students, today we will be discussing the cloning vectors that are cosmids and phage vectors, and we will also discuss the cloning strategies. First, we will discuss the cosmids. Cosmids are constructed vector with features from both plasmids and phages. These features include: first, an E. coli ORI sequence; second, a selectable marker such as the ampicillin-resistant gene; third, convenient restriction sites; fourth, a fragment carrying the ligated cohesive ends COS of phage and allowing the DNA to be packaged into a phage head for introduction into E. coli. Cosmid consists of plasmid vectors and the COS site of lambda phage. Plasmid part helps in selection due to the presence of marker gene. COS sequence allows them to be packaged in a phage coat and to be transduced to a recipient by the lambda injection machinery. Cosmids are plasmids containing phage lambda COS ends. They are 4 to 6 kilobase pair in size and are specifically designed for cloning of large DNA fragments up to 45 kilobase pairs. Recombinant cosmid molecules can be conveniently packaged in vitro inside a phage coat by the cleavage of two COS sites flanking the insert DNA. The resultant phages are then infected into a suitable E. coli host. After injection, the cosmic DNA is circularized like phage DNA, but establishes itself as a plasmid in the recipient cell and can be selected on the basis of a vector drug-resistant marker. As cosmids lack all the E genes, plaques will not be produced, but instead colonies are formed on selective media. Cosmids can accommodate up to 47 kilobase pair of foreign DNA and is used mainly to prepare genomic DNA libraries. Now the bacteriophage. Virus infecting bacteria are called bacteriophage. Bacteriophages are capable of cloning large pieces of DNA. Most commonly used bacteriophages are lambda phage and M13. Now the lambda phage. Lambda bacteriophages are the most important and widely used vectors, having a linear genome. Its genome consists of single linear double-stranded DNA of about 48 kilobase pair. However, at either end of the molecule is a short 12 nucleotide stretch in which the DNA is single-stranded, described as sticky or cohesive end. These cohesive ends are known as COS sites, which are complementary to each other. These cohesive or sticky ends enable circularization of lambda genome after infection during packaging. The phage DNA is injected into the cell and the phage life cycle can start. The phage genome circularizes and the phage can initiate either the lytic or lysogenic cycle, depending on nutritional and metabolic status of the host cell. First, we will discuss lysogenic infection cycle, the pattern of phage infection that involves integration of the phage DNA into the host chromosome, for example, lambda phage. And the lytic infection cycle is the pattern of the infection displayed by a phage that replicates and lyses the host cell immediate after the initial infection. Integration of the phage DNA molecule into the bacterial chromosome does not occur. For example, T phages, T2 phages, T4 phages, T6 phages, etc. Important features contributing to the utility of lambda phages as vector are: first, only 2/3 of the genome is essential and about 1/3 of the genome is non-essential, which can be discarded and replaced with foreign DNA. The middle region of the lambda genome is dispensable as it controls the lysogenic properties of the phage. Therefore, this region can be deleted without disrupting the functions required for the lytic growth cycle. This region is substituted with polylinker. Second, the packaging mechanism in lambda phage facilitates insertion of recombinant DNA as packaging into infectious phage particles and is possible only if DNA is between 40 to 53 kilobase pair long. Lambda bacteriophage vectors can be digested to release 3 fragments, of which 2 fragments harbor essential genes comprising of 30 kilobase pair. The third middle fragment can be discarded when additional DNA is inserted for cloning, producing viable phage particles. Therefore, bacteriophage vectors allow the insertion of DNA fragments of up to 23 kilobase pair. Once the bacteriophage fragments are ligated to insert DNA fragments of appropriate size, the resulting recombinant DNA can be packaged into phage particles. This requires adding packaged phage to crude bacterial cell extract containing all the proteins required to assemble a complete phage, also known as in vitro packaging. Nearly all infective viable phage assembles contain a foreign DNA fragments. They can be subsequently transferred into E. coli cells in an efficient manner. Additional advantage of using these modified phages as vector is that they can enter bacteria much more easily than plasmids. One of the major limitations of lambda vectors is that the head packaging imposes a physical limitation on the amount of DNA that can be incorporated into it during phage assembly. This restricts the size of foreign DNA fragments that can be cloned into a lambda phage. During packaging, infectious phage particles can be constituted from DNA that is approximately between 40 to 53 kilobase pair long. Thus, a wild-type phage genome can accommodate only around 23 kilobase pair of cloned foreign DNA. This drawback has been taken care of by careful construction of vectors to accommodate fragments of DNA that are close to the theoretical maximum limit for particular vector. Lambda vectors can be of two types. First, insertion vectors, and second, replacement or substitution vectors. Now the lambda insertion vectors. Insertion vectors are simplest form of lambda cloning vectors. In the development of this vector, a large segment of the non-essential region of lambda phage genome has been deleted and the two fragments ligated together. It possesses at least one unique restriction site into which new DNA can be inserted. The size of the insert DNA fragments, that is 8 to 10 kilobase pair, that an insertion vector can carry depends on the extent to which the non-essential region has been deleted. Lambda GT10 and Cheron 16A are examples of lambda insertion vectors. Now the second one, lambda replacement or substitution vectors. This type of vector has a loading capacity of 10 to 23 kilobase pair and consists of a full-length lambda molecule with two identical restriction sites, flanking a non-essential region called stuffer fragment. This stuffer fragment is deleted and replaced by foreign DNA. The central segment of the lambda genome contains genes that are required for the lysogenic cycle, but not essential for lytic function. As a result, it can be removed and replaced by a foreign DNA fragment. Using this strategy, it is possible to clone foreign DNA up to 23 kilobase pair in length, and such vectors are normally used for making genomic DNA libraries. EMBL4 and Cheron 40 are examples of lambda replacement vectors. Now the another vector, which is M13. M13 is a filamentous virus 9 nanometer wide and 900 nanometer long and has a smaller genome than lambda phage. Its genome is a single-stranded circular DNA. The 6.4 kilobase pair single-stranded circular DNA of phage is encapsulated by 2710 identical protein subunits. Phage genome is converted into an intermediate circular double-stranded replicative form. This replicative form, RF, contains positive and negative strands and is essentially similar to plasmid. It acts as a template for replication of the single-stranded genome of the virus particle. The positive strand by rolling circle replication, the positive strand is then packaged into new virus particles. thousands of progeny M13 Phage are produced per generation. M13 Phage is a non-lytic virus as it does not kill its bacterial host, and therefore large quantities of M13 Phage can be cultured and harvested easily. An M13 Phage can be isolated and manipulated as a vector for cloning in a plasmid-like manner. The circular double-stranded replicative form DNA is digested at a single site by restriction endonuclease. The cut is made in the polylinker region of the phage. The double-stranded insert DNA fragment is produced by digestion with the same restriction enzyme. Insert DNA is then ligated to the digested vector. The foreign DNA can be inserted in any orientation as both ends of DNA molecules are same. Therefore, half of the newly synthesized positive strands packaged into virus particles contain one of the strands of the insert DNA, while the other half will contain other strand. Infection of E. coli by a single phage will produce large amount of single-stranded M13 DNA containing the same strand of the insert DNA. Instead of bacterial colonies, phage plaques will be formed and infected bacteria can be easily isolated from them. M13 phage harbors LAC-Z gene allowing blue or white selection system for screening of recombinants. Single-stranded DNA cloned into M13 phage can be subjected to sequence analysis. M13 phage has several advantages as a vector. First, the replicative form of M13 phage can be isolated and manipulated as a vector for cloning in a plasmid-like manner. Second, the use of vectors like M13 occurring in a single-stranded form is very useful in large-scale sequencing projects since cloning, amplification and strand separation steps can be performed in combination. These are also used in labeling experiments, site-directed mutagenesis and phage display libraries where a foreign peptide is fused in a frame to a gene coding for one of the code proteins. Another advantage of M13 phage is that it contains multiple cloning sites which are similar to PUC18 and PUC19, so that genes cloned in PUC18 and 19 can be subcloned at the same sites in M13 phage. Next, M13 phages do not contain any non-essential genes. The 6.4 kb genome of phage is used very efficiently and only 507 base pair intergenic region is available for insertion of foreign DNA. Polylinker and LAC-Z peptide sequence are also inserted into this region. Now the next one is phasmid. Phasmid is a hybrid of the filamentous phage M13 and plasmid. Phasmid contains the origin of replication and the selectable marker from plasmid and an intergenic sequence from filamentous phage. The introduction of the intergenic region of the filamentous phage into plasmid vector allows them to replicate either as a plasmid or as a phage. An example of phasmid vector is lambda-ZAP, which is highly developed vector containing sequences from lambda vector. Lambda-ZAP is basically an insertion vector and contains P-blue script SK negative within a shortened lambda genome. This vector contains F1 phage initiator and terminator sequence that flank the P-blue script negative sequences. These two sequences have been derived from F1 origin of replication. The chief features of lambda-ZAP are summarized below. First, the DNA insert is placed within MCS, that is multiple cloning sites, localized in the LAC-Z gene of P-blue script SK negative. Commonly, the unique EcoR1 site is used. Second, it is particularly suitable for cloning of cDNA using EcoR1 linkers. Third, integration of DNA inserts inactivates LAC-Z gene. This permits blue-white selection of X-gall plates, white plaque recombinant phasmids. Next, RNA copies of DNA insert can be generated. Now the phagemids. A plasmid vector that contains origin of replication from a phage in addition to that of the plasmid is called phagemid. P blue script Sk negative is a phagemid vector of 2958 base pairs derived from PUC19. It contains the following functional modules. First, phage F1, that is M13, origin of replication. Second, a portion of LAC-Z gene driven by LAC promoter. Third, a multiple cloning sites MCS within LAC-Z gene. Fourth, phage T7 and T3 promoter sequences flanking the multiple cloning site sequences. Fifth, COIE first, origin of replication. Sixth, gene ampicillin resistance for ampicillin resistance. Phagemids are used more widely than phages due to the following reasons. First, genome of phagemids are smaller and can accommodate a larger foreign DNA fragment. Next, the phagemids are more efficient in transformation that allows obtaining a phage display library with high diversity. Next, the expression level of fusion proteins can be controlled and modulated easily. Now we will shift our focus towards cloning strategies. Cloning is used to produce DNA either as a part of a functional gene or part of regulatory region such as promoter. An outline of basic steps involved in cloning is given below. It has multiple steps to achieve cloned gene in a vector for amplification. First, isolation or amplification of gene fragment from genome of the organism. Second, restriction digestion of the gene fragment and vector. Third, ligation of cut gene product and vector. Fourth, insertion of ligated DNA or recombinant DNA into the host. Fifth, screening and selection of cells containing recombinant DNA. The various cloning strategies are: first, homopolymer tailing. A 20 to 40 nucleotide long stretch of one of the four nucleotide is added at the 3' end of both strands of the insert, and similar stretch of the complementary nucleotides is added to the linearized vector with the help of enzyme terminal deoxynucleotidal transferase TDT. The tailed DNA are then allowed to anneal under appropriate conditions and form open circular recombinant molecule. The hydrogen bonding between 20 to 40 nucleotides is strong enough to maintain the recombinant in circular form. This molecule is then used for the transformation of the host cells. A very common strategy is cloning by guanine and cytosine tailing at the PST first site. This can be achieved by the digestion of PBR322 with restriction endonuclease, PST first recognition sequence 5' CTGCAG 3', and adding a tail of polyguanine to it, which also reconstitutes the PST first site. The complementary DNA is tailed with polycytosine, and two DNAs are allowed to anneal overnight in the presence of 150 to 500 millimolar NaCl. Now the next one is cloning by linker ligation. The linkers are the synthetic oligonucleotides which have the recognition sequence for a particular restriction enzyme along with 1, 2 or 3 extra bases on both ends. This helps in maintaining right open reading frame if expression of the gene is desired. The linkers are ligated to both ends of the insert with the help of enzyme T4-DNA ligase and digested with the restriction enzyme to produce cohesive ends. The internal sites present within the insert are protected by methylation of insert DNA before the addition of linkers. The vector DNA is also digested with the same enzyme, thus producing complementary ends. Two molecules, the vector and in the insert, are ligated and the recombinants are used for transformation of host cells. This is one of the most commonly used technique in many cloning experiments. This was all for today. Hope you have understood it well. Thank you and goodbye.